Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christy with Ahn Co. It's Friday, December 20th. I'm going to go over the markets for the day and week with you here. So we kicked off the last week of normal trade for 2019, which is extremely hard to believe. The next 2 weeks we'll have time off away from the markets here with a shorter close on Christmas Eve, closed on Christmas Day, and then closed on New Year's Day. So really you're going to start to enter into maybe potentially some quiet trade. Usually it ends up being quiet, but things can get a little bit wild. We do feel like 2020 though can get a little bit dicey and get some movement here, as you have rumors that at the beginning of January you will see the signing of the deal between the US and China. This will be huge for the market. And then shortly into it on the 10th, we have a very big crop report that finalizes yields, production levels, and that is something that's just really unknown with the test weight issues, with quality issues, with the crop that's still in the ground here for a lot of areas. So we do feel like even if you enter a quiet stretch, it won't stay quiet very long coming into the new year. On the day, we had corn market up 1/4 cent. On a weekly chart, you are up 21.5. That's going to show a sizable gap on the chart when you look at a weekly chart, though the March contract was only up 6 3/4. So it was a little bit of a difference going from that D's option to, or the D's futures to the March futures to show a little bit different trade. Soybeans were up 3 3/4 today, up 20 3/4 on the week. So some big movements there, obviously tied to that China-US trade talk and the potential of what they could buy to make up that 40 to 50 billion. Wheat complex down 3 cents for Chicago wheat, still seeing positive trade. Weekly chart's going to show 3 cents higher, but when you look at it here, you had that positive trade throughout the week. And then when you look at Minneapolis wheat, there was a little bit of movement there when you look at it, up down 3.5 cents today. But when you look at it as a whole, the weekly chart is going to show up 31 3/4. That's going to show a gap as well, along with corn and Kansas City wheat. But when you look at it, Minneapolis, the March contract up 9 3/4. Kansas City wheat up 1 3/4 on the week, up 34 3/4 on that weekly chart. Like I said, that's going to have a gap as well. But when you look at it, up 19.5 for the March contract. So some strong trade when you look at it. So we'll be deciphering what's to come. You did have some private estimates out saying where you could make up that 40 to 50 billion dollars worth of U.S. agriculture product, and corn was number 2. So hopefully we'll be able to see something like that happen. With the big movements in grain markets, pretty quiet when you look at cattle markets. Down 45 cents for feeders today. On the week, down $1.40. Live cattle mixed trade here. And down 15 cents on the day or on the week. And then lean hogs, what you saw here was trading both sides as well. On a weekly aspect, you're going to show up over $10, but when you look at it and break it down, you went from D's to a Feb future for that lead contract for weekly, and that was up $1.17.5. So overall, when we look at the picture, we'll see where we come, but you sometimes do see a little bit of quiet trade, and we'll see what's to come with Christmas. I do have to close with the disclaimer: trading futures and option involves risk loss and is not suitable for all producers. This is a solicitation. Have a great day.